I'm Ruth from Reading Libraries. Today I'm going to read you a story called What Clara Saw and What the Animals Did, and it's written and illustrated by Jessica Meserve, and it's published by Macmillan Children's Books, and we're reading it with their kind permission. The children of Class B, Dearest Darlings Primary School, arrived at the wildlife park with their new teacher, Mr. Biggity. Clara was particularly excited to meet the animals, especially the tortoise. She was Clara's favourite. Mr. Biggity wanted to see the animals too, but for an entirely different reason.
Today, children, I will show you why humans are better and more important than any other animal.
Mr. Biggity liked to ask questions he already knew the answer to.
Can a baboon launch a rocket to the moon? Can a tortoise write a book? Or a giraffe farm fields for food? No, no, and no, they can't. But a human can, said Mr. Biggity. Humans really are the most marvellous, the most splendid, quite the best.
Clara wasn't so sure. A sign caught her eye, and she stopped to read it. Goodbye, Elsie. Today we say a sad goodbye to Elsie, our giant tortoise, as she heads to a new home for elderly animals. Elsie is 150 years old. Poor Elsie, said Clara, but nobody was listening, least of all Mr. Biggity.
Interesting, very interesting, said Mr. Biggity. Just as I suspected, this tortoise's head is the size of a tiny walnut. You can't do proper thinking with a brain that size.
But Clara wasn't so sure. Do animals feel sad? She asked.
Sad? Ha! Replied Mr. Biggity. Does a hippo cry? Does a tortoise feel teary? Do penguins whimper with worry?
He also liked to answer questions with more questions.
No, no, and no, they don't. Their brains are far too small for feelings.
But Clara really wasn't sure. Can animals talk to each other? Asked Clara.
Talk? Ha! Can a chimp chat? Can a lemur speak Latin? Can a parrot put on a play? Ridiculous, scoffed Mr. Biggity.
But do they ever help each other? Asked Clara.
Of course not, he replied. Grunt, squawk, hoot and screech. That's all animals do. They really are such silly and selfish creatures.
Clara still wasn't sure. She decided to say nothing, but she saw everything. She saw the giraffe and the ostrich and the elephant too.
Look at this big beast destroying his tree, said Mr. Biggity. Animals just don't care about their things.
Can elephants use tools? Wondered one boy.
Use tools? Ha! Replied Mr. Biggity. Can an elephant build a house? Can a rabbit fix a car? Or a squirrel sew a suit? No, no, and no, they can't. In fact, animals don't care about the world around them.
Now Clara was absolutely sure that Mr. Biggity knew nothing at all.
Gather round, Class B. Let's go over what we have learned today, said Mr. Biggity. 1. Animals don't have feelings. 2. Animals can't talk. 3. Animals don't help each other. 4. Animals can't use tools. And 5. Animals don't care about their things. But nobody was listening, least of all Clara. Surely animals do feel love, whispered the children. This time, Clara asked some questions she already knew the answer to. Do animals make friends? Do animals care for their babies? Do animals need kindness? Yes, yes, Anne, yes, they do, cried all the children. Well, interrupted Mr. Biggity, I know one thing for sure. Hippos definitely don't have any manners.
Clara knew something for sure too. All animals really are marvellous and splendid and quite the best. And now she had 2 favourites. I'm glad the hippo and the tortoise managed to stay together. Didn't like that teacher very much, did you? Take care, everybody. See you soon.